Top5rapwebsite.com. You already know what's going on. Today we got Blu and Sirplus for sale EP. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to check out my other Blu reactions and reviews. Blu's one of my favorite rappers, so I've done quite a few of those. Track number 1, intro. Alright, I'm loving this already. This beat is dope.
South Central instrumental.
You know, shout out to South Central, you know, my hood, you know, Central and 87th, Crenshaw and 63rd, you know what I mean?
Just like a pistol, she let away, I bust my pistol. I told her I got issues, getting residuals without getting ridiculed for knocking out critic foes. I wrote a prose, I just want to meet the pros to show them I got flows.
You know, Blu still sounding in tip-top form. I'm saving this because the beat hard. Blu still sounding like he did on Below the Heavens. You know what I'm saying? He still sounding like Blu. Shouldn't look too Blu, man.
Y'all rappers on their toes, ready to jump leaps and bounds just to defeat the crown. But the king is out cold. The most slept on since heads on bed. The most blessed form of blows off the head. The close weapon that draws folks dead. And God knows I got so preach the gospel and leave folks fed. Medicine man, you know the master got a heaven plan. Evidently, it's all elementary for more than a century. Too bad we get more by history.
Okay, so I really like that. You know, I didn't notice any too much crazy bars, but Blu is just he's not like always punchline man or metaphor man. Like sometimes he's just ill poetic. Track number 2, Homemade, featuring Sirplus and PCH. Salute to the Pacific Coast Highway. Was that the 1 or is it the 5?
Joy to come and sing along with you. There's not another thing that I would rather do. So lift your voice in song, come and sing along. A song for me and for you.
Surplus swerved up in the trucks, the bus, but the bucks put trust in us. Ain't God we trust.
Okay, so we got some off-kilter drums here. Not uncommon to hear Blu over something like this. You know, something a little bit more experimental. I'll mess with it.
Surplus swerved up in the trucks, the bus, but the bucks put trust in us. Ain't God we trust. Turn a milli to a billion if Allah just touch us once. And God we walk on the up and up. Plus I'm original, trust not an imbecile. Embezzle foe, Bridgetown still. Building life bridges, building life bridges. And dreams made of steel for a life sentence. Still might crippling when the light hits it. Ew. I can imagine how that shine changed the frame of mind, and how gold made chickens out of lizards flying. Still.
Okay, how gold made chickens out of lizards flying. If you know what that bar mean, go ahead and drop that in the comments. What I wanted to comment on was, the beats. Spotify doesn't have the production credit, so I'm not saying who's doing the beats, but wouldn't be surprised if it was Blu. Blu has an experimental style. And if you listen to the King JR project that dropped not too long ago by John Robinson, the BK stand-up, you will hear those experimental beats.
Each swine, each time breathe fire, expand your lungs to think how we fly. 3 times in a dream I had, still I had to take a sec to walk back and tell you that.
It's different. I'm guessing we about to hear Sirplus, or maybe Sirplus is the producer. You know, I could be bugging. Maybe he's the producer, because you know the first track says Blu and Sirplus, but there is no other person on the track other than Blu. So Sirplus may be the producer. Again, when I do these first listen reactions, I just go I don't do too much research on it. I try to give a real life first reaction for y'all. So the next person we're going to hear is probably PCH. Sirplus is more than likely the producer. That's my fault.
Yeah, born a fire to flow formless. To set the blaze, drop bones that lay dormant. I heard the mastodons ushering the more in. You heard the master the craft. Yeah, we back with that antediluvian. Blue, peace.
Antediluvian.
The great deluge. You need a way.
Yeah, so he said his name, PCH. Okay, so Sirplus on the board. Salute to Sirplus, man.
Taste of a grand marshal. Scared to talk, it's gonna expand armament in this real spit of parade. When it poppin', ain't a thrill for the gang. When you bang on the devil and live as long as the ancient days. All praise to the most high with multi-rays. Queen Calabria, Rome with the grip, don't get it twisted. Levitated 3 times in Orient. Streaming when I wrote this, so excuse me if it's hard to hear.
Yeah, he said banging on the devil. Gang banging on the devil. Track number 3, Funkorama, featuring Johaz and Adad.
And I probably crib for the last arsenal, the last carnival ride, 3 times annual. We not cannibals or even animals, yet they treat us like we can't handle truth. I know your history, you heard my slave song. I saw your rebirth, Hitler was way wrong. He should have blamed it on the old Jews again. The old school in him broke computer chips with a mortal thought. Open the portal, walk through the door after, boarded to a...
You know, so I really like this beat. Da 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 da. Really like that. And the drums are becoming very off kilter. The best beat so far was the intro, in my opinion. But all of them are good so far.
Like you ain't inherit this. Now I carry the cross I'm buried with. Imagine that. Everybody broke on a Cadillac and everybody rich want their money back. That don't mean it's getting it. 3 men serving life, the whole life sentence in life. You gonna feel my pain when I get up the
You know, that hook, give it that nice little West Coast feel. Shout out to the hook guy, Cocaine. He's featured on a lot of like Snoop songs and a lot of just West Coast songs in general. Oh, liquor. He kind of has that signature style. So this kind of just reminds me of that. Gives it that nice West Coast feel, you know.
Manifesto of the high science. Murder tracks like I'm an advocate of high violence. Flyer in the vehicle to fly pilots. Give sight to your peripheral with 5 pilots. Yeah, Johaz, I'm like the Black Messiah. My tongue is like the gun shooting with rapid fire. The studio for funerals, black attire. Use a punk, use a bitch, you a bastard liar. Purpose is to lift you with joy. The older guards up in the cipher, yell to build or destroy. They say the game is missing something, I'm here to fill in the void. I am the calm for your anxiety when I'm feeling this noise. Divine type Amazon, step up in the party, band is falling like Babylon. Roll for solo.
He said, step up in a party, who falling like Babylon? You know, Babylon.
Divine type Amazon, step up in the party, band is falling like Babylon.
Panties falling like Babylon.
Turn a fucking rap show into a prayer. You gonna feel my pain when I get up the flame. When I get step out the gate, I'm rising against the light. You gonna feel my pain when I get up the flame. When I get step out the gate, I'm rising against the light. I feel cool up in my skin like calamine, married to the universe, nourished by the...
Everyone sounds real good over this beat. Everyone sounds real good.
The vibe spam me to jab at y'all. Small talk, cheap time. Punch the clock, do the work, drive to the bumpers grind. Ho, the whole portfolio, polio. Clip you at the water wings, you ain't even breathing steam. You just too uncouth to get a handle on the mantle of a beautiful poop. And at the crib is
saving this song.
Perkins and poop. See the jackals in the jungle that'll shoot at the stoop. So tell me why the fuck I'm scared of you. When we all just dots in the drone's eye view. And the air all sick and the water all flat. And the earth on fire and they broke the food. Wanna see a raindrop make you roll to move. Put a dart on the groove, let me use the tool.
Yeah, so that was hard. That was hard. Okay, that's my new favorite song. The intro in Funkorama is real dope. Track number 4, Let It Shine, featuring Sidewaalk Cow and Cashus King. So Cashus King, he's a regular appearance on Blu Music.
You know how to cook it too, and she shine like that crossbow busting in slow motion, drove smoking while we posting a cup with coke flowing.
You know, in Surplus, he's giving Blu a lot of different looks on this project. The drums on here are just insane.
Got crack things lined up to the moment.
Kind of like congos, I don't know.
Moment off rocks, snowing on the block, shining like a brand new Glock. I'm about to open up a brand new shop around the clock. I'm a night shift nigga with my finger on the trigger. If I'm
I got to point out the Glock bar. You know, a little stick talk. You know what I mean?
you appear to be detectives, I'm a wet you. You drifting like a wetsuit in pursuit of happiness. Never leave a block without my fifth. I got a gift, I got a little light of mine, and I'ma let it shine. Let it blind niggas blind when I speak my mind. Reach from behind for the chrome to make sure that he gone. Make sure that he reach hell and tell him that he home. Caddy roaming through the streets hot, running through stop signs. You don't wanna take advice from me, my nigga, let it shine.
Building all destruction, we proficient in both. Regardless, smoke, absolute.
Sidewalk out.
You bought enough of it. If you chat, you choke. Be thoughtful with jokes. Despite if your intentions is close, it's building your purpose. Never the ego, only the mission. If it's rapping, then somebody gotta die at the end. And that's the stakes that I'm regarding. We ain't out here just to play. Got my ancestors watching how my walk is through the day. Plus the words and the actions looking like ain't the same.
My ancestors watching how I'm walking through the day, all day, every day.
Chaos over catalyst to change, things are strange. I had to stay on the swivel in the rain in the city where my people used to walk around in chains. You swearing it's a game till the tokens run out. Smiles disappear in the last turn of shows. Against the oppression, the Olympics, but that's what we gonna do. Let's trade places, go to war and see who's Sun Tzu.
Ooh, let's go to war and see who's Sun Tzu. Raekwon, but I was also about to say Jay-Z. He said something gonna disappear and then this come out. Kind of remind me of that Jay-Z bar. What'd he say? The tough guy disappeared and the bitch come out. Yeah, that's him. Something that they whisper about. Either with Chicky with or if the fifth come out or something like that. I think that the song is Dig a Hole off Kingdom Come. But then he also said let's go to war and see who's Sun Tzu. That kind of reminds me of a little Raekwon. Incarcerated scar faces. So what up, son? Duke want to battle for cash and see who sons who? He says who sons who, but I always thought it was who sons who. I thought that would be a much harder bar. Want to battle for cash and see who sons who? But he said who sons who, you know, little New York slang. But anyway, shout out to that bar. Cashus King coming up.
I tell them a little story about myself.
Premature ejaculation. Yeah, I'm gonna start with this verse. You gotta let the chorus finish, my man. All right, now.
Growing up, my closest ninja was relentless, claiming 6-0. Now the rhyme divine combine the mind and shine like 6-4.
Claiming 6-0. So, you know, I already shouted out. You know, I'm not a gang member. I have no gang affiliations. You know, I was just born in the area. But I will say that Blu is from South Central, or yeah, he raps. I mean, he says it in his raps often. So if you're born in South Central, like there's like one main territory there. Like there's other, you know, territories without getting too deep into this type of talk. But there's like one, especially back then. There's like one monopoly, basically. So we'll leave that down.
Ninja hella brain, I told her. Lick slow, my pusher pushed it down to fast track. I told you Nick slow. Swag weed, bad weed. Now we on the boulevards with that sex thug. Catch a slug in the end zone. You talking hot. Every day be blowing AC. They be cold as AC, smoking AZ like it's Indo. Rolling grips and moving grips. All the nigga knew was you. The palm side sliders looking at him like, who was you? Square ass ninja looking shocked, but he knew the truth. Square ass ninja so real, they down to shoot at you for trying to. Third just drive, going cop. I never sold a soul, but I know some souls are buying them. Sharpest line on the fade, catch your fade with a sink. Shining like the glow on your bling, bling, I let it shine.
He said never sold his own, you know, and I'm not a gang member nor a drug dealer either. So, you know, shout out to the people who just telling the truth in their rhymes. Track number 5, Starcastle, featuring Noveliss and Scienze. Let's get into it.
Perfect symmetry, rock geometry, speak comedically, symmetrically, infectiously.
And again, every single beat is a different look. So if you notice this, you know, my real rap listeners who really, you know, listen for this type of stuff, every beat is a different look. Like, it's wild so far. Wow.
From a raw gold teeth and the floor of both kings. May I never be seen without jewelry again. Gold mineral, soul flow, oceans and seas as we flow, slow motion and breathe. Hey, we came a long way, could we lease blaze trees? Day 3 on Pluto like Manute Bowl. Manute rolling this life, living free flow through the forest, more than a passport.
You know, shout out to Manute Ball. He was a really tall NBA player. His son is actually in the NBA Players Nuggets Bowl. Shout out to the Bowl. Shout out to the Bowl family.
Poetry, the ghost of the holy spoke over me and told me they were holding me angelic if I let my fam tell it. Los Angeles, yes, I landed it in it. Bridgetown still to the beach. East with it, beast with it. Never seen me fitted in Cortez and khakis. Packing trees and hashish. 1723 to be exact. Stars line, make your neck crack.
It's a lot of synthesizers on one beat.
Check it. Who said we can't see brighter days perpetual? Time to see different in the mind than the intellectual. A second goal. My heart racing, breaking stethoscope. Only to be calmed by the metronome I set alone. I can't call it solitude without a telephone. Still melancholy when the weather cold. Hey yo, creatives in the wind through a poem. Never bragging till the day he put us off in a stone. And slay a dragon with a poisonous blade tip. Remain dip. The pathogenic cold infectious on every wavelength. These roads travel paved with strength from the.
You know, this is Noveliss. You know, dude's vocabulary is up there, as you can tell. It's still melancholy when the winter's cold, or you know, a lot of different words, you know what I'm saying? Hip hop numbers on Twitter, if you still do those unique word counts, count this nigga's unique words. Dude's got a lot of different words in this verse.
Noveliss in blue, the right is your favorite color. And telepath, open dimensions with blind fury. It's one that Maximoff for no vision, hey yo. While I pension and culture on every record, fallen brethren lend power to legends below the heavens.
We got Scienze coming up.
I park a Jeep inside a crate and near the back. Parallel to everything that's congruent and black. Opened up a black and put the ashes in a pack. Pack the ashes with the weed and blew the smoke across the mat.
Yeah.
Now and then I feel like opposites attract. Used to chase the moon until the sun was over attack. Pushed it back, never knew the stars on my way to time. That's a stack. They ain't really used to building where I'm from. That's a trap. Axis get axed upon tracks as the world turns, questioning things we never asked.
They ain't used to building where I'm from, so that's a second build and destroy reference. And so these guys are from South Central, you know, or maybe not Scienze, because I think Scienze is correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's affiliated with John Robinson, whose project I did, the King JR project, and they're from Brooklyn. So that's usually when you get the God talk, the 5%, the NOI talk, things like that. Scienze of Life crew, shout out to those guys.
Worldwide, put the world inside and catch a vibe from the outside, sitting on trunks that's on the ride. The marvelous shine is never clean. What a time. Used to think about clocks and what they mean. Hands only dirty from shoveling through a dream. Made a flow into a hustle and turned it into a stream. Lord knows I'm super humble for tumbling since the weed from a tree. Watch the sun rise sharp, it's like a crease. Bless the east. Took me a second to grab the seat with the bright scope gawking at all beside of reach.
Okay, so that was dope too. I'm gonna save this. This is really good so far, man. No weak track so far. I'm about to put my glasses back on because someone took my usual spot that I usually do these reaction videos in. So the light is different in this spot. It's like blinding me. So track number 6, Golden, featuring Nolan the Ninja and Eloh Kush, who also appeared on King JR. Oh, listen to that project. Watch my reaction if you have not already.
I can tackle the problem without letting my revolver revolve. Solve the crime without calling the law. Following the law.
I tackle the crime without letting my revolver revolve. What? What Jay-Z say? 38 revolve like the sun round the earth, which would have been a dope bar. 38 revolves like the sun around the earth, but the sun doesn't revolve around the earth. It's vice versa. But shout out to Ho for attempting that anyways, you know what I mean?
Letting my revolver revolve. Solve the crime without calling the law.
Yeah.
Following the law God made laid in my palm. Thou shalt not steal a kill. Still you thought you could steal a thought from the God. Maybe not, maybe you got the higher call. Hit the ground like a boat and fired off shots. I fired off non-stop with my mind like a Glock. Popping people in a firing range.
You know, second Glock reference. Shout out to Glocks, very reliable.
With fiery squad, as my firing squad. The higher I walk, it seems the harder I fall. One day I won't get up, till then I'm getting all ripped and raw, written and rhythms with a thought. Spoken as I talk, drop the golden bars in a song or a song for my people nodding off. In the dark where I spark like fire shots. By a Glock, call my mind rhyming off top.
Third Glock reference.
Regime off the money clean, pronounces as kings. Bitches blowing kisses, trying to tap into some riches, but all I got is dick and conversation, so she can either rhyme me or create the topic. Fly the hell.
All I got is dick and conversation. Big L said all I got for hoes is hard dick and bubblegum. You know, so this guy's a little more courteous.
Happens through the tropics, smirking since I started from the bottom. Throughout the week it was rhyming, now we top rhyming. Dissect the signs throughout the trials, still we triumph. Transformation from dirty khakis and dingy blazers to some new apparel every weekend. Whether expensive or cheap, you can tell I am. The feeling of autumn, feet up on the ottoman, part of the hell I started. Presents looking like I stepped up out of 90 whatever. Nike pullover sweaters, I'm smelling like some OG from Cali. Undefeated, take a look at the tallies, it ain't no shit you can.
I was about to say, he kind of sounded like East Coast spitter, but he just said OG from Cali. Usually that's how New York rappers reference our weed. They make sure they say it's Cali. If you're from Cali, you really don't make that designation.
Just let me know when you ready. Wavy on bigger valves.
I did the knowledge to these flunkies. Farmers
Wavy on Bigger Valley. Did I hear that? Slout to Max B.
From Cali, undefeated, take a look at the tallies. It ain't no shit you can tell me, just let me know when you ready. Wavy on bigger valves.
I did the knowledge to these flunkies. Pharmaceutical junkies. Pimped out on pain prescription. At the podium preaching to the people. False prophecy, a bunch of functioning, well-dressed addicts who to the masses try to pass off their sickness as the pastime of the culture. But the culture is our God. The light-bearing gun mellow color clocks that match my iron rod. Guillotine is my thoughts. I thought about what they did to John Africa in the Move 9 fam. Truly I am angry and disgusted. I represent Gunswitch. Waiting for my brother Raphael to blow the trumpet. Then the million seraphim will swoop down on this shitty circumference. Stomp the devil out with a black Hummer monster boot. I'm a Dr. Khalid Muhammad Fly. Poetic over.
Khalid Muhammad, Black Panther, let go.
Still a him who wishes you grim titans. UFO sightings at my last show. I'm glad to see my Rezikian brothers all along disguising their presence. I shift the frequency in your session. Demise my best weapon on SAT. Wordsmith, Eloh Kush, Slam Dance, Seraphim. I represent Angels INC. What?
Okay. So on that song, a lot of similar styles, I like the beat, I like the song overall. Probably my least favorite song on here. It is very wordy, which I usually don't mind because I like a lyricist, or I prefer lyricists. But I would say a lot of similar styles. I almost said complementary styles, but I don't know if they complement each other that well on that type of song, like a no hook, just straight bars. It's cool for what it was. And the last song, track number 7, outro. Piano, you know I love that piano.
Yeah.
DJ Scratches.
A niggas with money to burn, hard to earn, and this is the home it may concern. I'm the word, and me shall inherit the earth, cherish the herbs you smoke. Muhammad spoke on the top.
Okay, Muhammad spoke. So we're getting a lot of religious blue on here. We're getting, you know, a little bit of religious blue, a little spiritual blue, and I like how this beat is being led by the piano. The drums are even following the piano. So
my advice is you should drop it if you can't rock it. Microscopic hype show concert. My life is constant. Music.
So like we got some maracas, claps, maybe no drums even. It's like claps, maracas, and some bass.
Drive by, Compton's most wanted. Slauson Ave, and stay flossing. Boston for all of that.
Compton's most wanted, Slauson Ave, you know. Obviously Slauson Ave is not in Compton, but he's just shouting out the LA area, greater LA area.
Oceans, overseas with ease, we buy boats, drop by, wait high to folks after my live show. I might go golfing one day. Some say, boss man, you should relax. Stop putting all that pressure up on your back. It don't cost much to toss a rat, but a chiropractic, hieroglyphs, and everything magical Cairo is. Makes me wanna visit Egypt and see my people. Makes me wanna believe we were all created equal. But King Tut was beastin'. Where the hell's the sequel? Gotta read the Bible before I hit my live show. Life is a battle that is fought for constant. 5 folks lost it, 6 hitting switches. Niggas with the
5-0 sauce and another LA reference, you know what I'm saying?
bigger back balls and Cadillac. With everybody rich be grabbing that. Here you can have the back. Here just open your ears and hear half my rap. They hear me out work.
Alright, I think that's it. I think that's First Sale EP by Blu. Not mad at that whatsoever. My favorite songs, Intro, Funkorama, and Starcastle. I think Starcastle is one of those songs where if I can compare Starcastle and Golden against each other, you know, as posse cuts, because that's what they are. There's like 3 features on both of those. Starcastle had much more complementary styles, in my opinion. Golden, which I think is probably one of the, it's not even proper to say weaker because it's not a weak song. Like, they got bars on there, but it's definitely the least interesting song on here, on a project where many of the songs are really interesting. So yeah, Intro, Funkorama, and Starcastle. I think Noveliss had a great verse, and I really like that beat on the outro. So Sirplus really did a great job here. A lot of different looks, even just for 7 songs. A lot of different looks. Can I hear Homemade just one time? Yeah. You got Homemade with the off-kilter drums. You got outro with the beat led by the piano. You got the intro, which is probably one of my favorite beats. It's just very jazzy. Real soulful, you know what I'm saying? Funkorama was really dope too. You know what I'm saying? So this EP is no drag, man, no drag. Obviously, let me hear Let Shine too. Let me just hear what that sound like again. Yeah, that's what that sample, like Just Blaze-ish sample and Starcastle. Yeah, man, so I'm not mad at this at all. If I were to rate this on 1 listen, obviously I still need to catch bars. But the production is interesting enough for me that I feel comfortable giving this, 4 stars, 3.5, 4 stars. Is a great EP. It makes me want to, it does what an EP is supposed to do. It makes me want to hear the full length project from Blu and Sirplus. I think the chemistry's there. Before I realized that Sirplus was a producer and not like a rapper collabing on this tape with Blu, I thought that these beats were done by Blu, because Blu usually sounds just very comfortable over his beats, and he has an experimental style while still remaining soulful. And Sirplus did exactly that. So I think the chemistry, for me to think that Blu did these beats, to have to question it, it shows that the chemistry there. Because obviously if you're doing your own beats, you're comfortable over your own beats. So Sirplus did an amazing job here. Blu sounded hungry. He didn't sound like he wasn't hungry. Didn't sound like he needed to change anything. It's the Blu we know and love. So yeah, for sale EP, man, I get us, 3.5, 4 stars. And shout out to Blu. As always, be sure to check out my other Blu reviews if you have not already, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And artists, if you would like me to review your album, just like I did this one here, this is the reaction, but I can also sit with it and review it. Be sure to go to top5rapwebsite.com. I've streamlined that process. Fill out the form, submit the payment, we get things going. Turnaround is 1 week, within 1 week, usually less than 1 week. So yeah, again, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And this is top5rapwebsite.com. Peace.